Hello there, Golf Freak here, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Dragon Age Origins.
Shall be done.
So I dropped a bunch of stuff off, sold a bunch of stuff, and yeah, at Soldier's Peak. And we're gonna do Alistair's quest real fast. And we're gonna go to the party camp, talk to everybody after that. This is the plan so far. She lives near the alienage. Forgotten verses. Oh, right. That was the scrolls I picked up.
All men are the work of our nature's hand. From the
Nice to see you again.
I found these scrolls.
Really? Oh, pardon my incredulity. I would like to examine them in any event. Let me see. The scrolls are old, no question, and the script. It's written in cipher. Early believers used them to keep their writings safe from the Devinter Magus. These could be authentic. Please, let me examine it.
I want some sort of collateral. Yeah.
If you are a charlatan, may the Maker have mercy upon you. There is avarice in your eyes, but I believe you. Inner ruins, you say? I can give you 5 sovereigns. If these prove to be genuine, we can discuss more substantial payment afterwards.
That's fine. They better be genuine.
I need parchment, quill, and ink. What was the trick to the cipher again? Ah. I examined your scrolls. I know a few of the early Chantry ciphers, but I'm not fully familiar with this one. The bits I have made out. This may be an account of Maferath's final days, and perhaps more. I know, it's remarkable. The same Maferath who betrayed our prophet and saw her burn alive in Minrath Rus. If we could get a real translation, well, it could be the find of our lifetime. It could take months. The ciphers were designed to be difficult for the Magisters to decrypt. Who knows what secrets we can uncover? What... Here is all of the allowance I have for acquisitions. Take it and go.
Cool.
Blessed are the peacekeepers.
Getting money.
magic exists to serve man.
And let's go visit that dude. This one, right? Yeah.
If it isn't the champion who succeeded in the quest for the Sacred Urn, I had not expected to see you so soon. I've written to the Chantry, telling them of your adventures. They are interested in having me lead an expedition. What do you think of that? I'm quite excited.
You said something about a reward.
Of course, I was too overcome with glee to remember. Do forgive this old man. Here, take this reward. I want you to have it. It will certainly do more good in your hands than lying around in this dusty house, eh? And if I can ask, have you gone to see the Arl? I have heard no news.
He was cured.
The Maker smiles on us. Thank you. And now, if you will excuse me, I have so much to prepare for. I wish Waylon was here to see all this.
Was it one of these? Whoa! That's a really good one. Yeah, I didn't have that one before. Must be new. That must be what the yellow circle is then. It's for new items. Okay, so, map. Wait, where does she live? She lives in Denerim, near the alienage. Well, it says near it. It's not you.
As you say.
Right, I already talked to, him.
By order of the new Earl of Denerim, no one is to enter the alienage. There's been an
I'm really glad they took the helmets off. That's quite a nice touch. So apparently I can't do diddly squat. That's the warehouse. That was the small painted box. Now this might have been a waste of... Well, it wasn't a waste. I got some stuff done. Gossip over here. Says she lives near the alienage, which is the just check one more time. It says near the alienage.
My brother and his family made it out of Lothering. He said that the Darkspawn attacked it the very next day.
Just have a look-see around. Hey, you.
Good to see you again.
It shall be done.
I'm not too keen about really helping you guys out too much. Can I talk to no one for, like,
All men
assistance
are
in
the
this
work
matter?
of our Maker's hand. From the lowest
So much to do.
Aren't you happy?
who bring ham without provocation to the least.
She, like, in this mess?
Good day. Come, rest here. For a lady friend, perhaps? Roses can open any woman's heart, you know. Much of the city is still... Circle and Sorceldot. The armorer, Wade, and if your thirst is strong, head to the Nord Noble Tavern north of here. I am from Your Denerim is a fine city, but I miss my Varroyo. What I miss most? But I like the people of this city very much. Orlais has many men. My brother had trouble with a chevalier and we departed short. You know so little. The chevaliers are knights of the house. For their service, they're allowed privileges. They can do whatever they want to the lesser born.
Wow. Whatever they want?
A chevalier took an interest in me. It was his right, but it was unwelcome. Incensed, my brother hit him over the head with a pot. We left that very night and came here.
Yeah, he did what was right.
Perhaps in your land, many revere the chevalier, but other... If
Wow. I do not want to live over there.
What is it? I have work to do. All right.
Actually, can you unlock any of these? No. Okay. Well, I think that I would get a quest marker. So I mean, she's probably in the alien or the Elvenage or something, and that's probably like quest related. I'll talk to this guard again and ask him why does the Jarl want him out of there.
The alienage is closed.
He's
Be on your way.
already talked out. So, let's go to my camp. We're gonna go talk to everybody.
Look at what your fool dog placed in my pack. A putrid, half-eaten hare is not something a woman wants to find in her unmentionables. The dirty mongrel can have this back, there, and tell him not to do it again. I don't want him.
Dog's too smart for some good.
He is certainly
I can tell I do it too, haha.
Your dog is... That may be so, but all the same, I would like your permission to bathe him.
Well, if you want.
Excellent. I will get my soaps, and the dog shall have his bath after supper.
And he shall smell of flowers. What an intimidating war dog. Back away slowly. What's all this racket?
I seek to understand the dog. We fight alongside each other, and I must discover the strength of his heart.
You know what he's talking about?
The true warrior understands.
Good thing it doesn't, like, piss him off. Pet him. Good boy. Okay, enough of you.
I've a question, if I may.
Go ahead.
Well, here's the thing. I swore an oath to serve you, yes? And I understand the quest you're on, and this is all very fine and well. My question pertains to what you intend to do with me once this business is over with, as a point of curiosity.
Does your oath expire then?
Not precisely. I said I would serve you until you saw fit to release me. One simply assumes that once your Grey Warden business is finished, you would have no need of an assassin to follow you about. Am I wrong?
This sounds like hitting on him. I could always use a friend. Dude, that sounds like hitting on him. I think he's one of the either gender romance options, so I'm not really don't want to really go too far into that. Nah, you could go if you wanted.
Could I? And what if I didn't wish to leave?
I could always use a friend.
Indeed. I might even be glad to call myself such, come to think of it. It is good to know what my options might be, but that is for another time. For now, we have much to do, yes?
Cool.
What say you? Not everyone, but a handsome man like yourself. Why not? I am sure you are a man who draws many stares from women and...
It does, actually.
Then I shall stop. Please accept my apologies. Now that that is out of the way, shall we move on? With my eyes fastened elsewhere, I assure you.
Oh, really? Okay, well, like, obviously I
What
can't
say you?
shoot him down.
By all means.
Oh, wow. No, okay, what does it take to become an assassin?
Well, the crows would have you believe that it is an involved process that survive that process and maybe, just maybe, you're good enough to start being considered one of them. But quite frankly, the truth is that all it requires is a desire to kill people for a living. It's surprising how well one can do in such a field. I don't know about that. It's simply a slightly different skill set. An assassin simply specializes in striking from stealth, and in maximizing that first attack to be as lethal as possible. Debilitate your foe, either by poison or by crippling their limbs, makes any follow-up combat you need to engage in that much simpler. See? Getting paid for the act is beside the point. An assassin is more a tactical choice than a lifestyle. Of course, the crows like to pretend that their abilities are trait, so let's just keep...
Sure.
What say you? I could teach others, but not yourself. First, I would need someone who has training as a rogue. That is, unless... But, if there should be such a person who desires this training, yes, by all means, send them to me. The crows are already furious, no? I shall enjoy tweaking their nose further.
Cool.
What say you? By all means. Oh, you wish to know? It is a warm place, not cold and harsh like this Ferelden. In Antiva it's not really a matter of wanting to... I hail from the glorious Antiva city, home to the royal palace. It is a glittering gem amidst the sand, my Antiva city. Do you come from someplace comparable?
That's an interesting one.
Oh, I have never seen that place. I am sure it has its charms, and its dogs.
Stab.
You know what is most odd? We speak of my homeland, and for all its wine and its dark-haired beauties and the lilo flutes of the minstrels, I miss the leather the most.
I already gave you your boots.
I mean the smell. I grew accustomed to the stench, even though the humans complained of it constantly. To this day, the smell of fresh leather is what reminds me most of home more than anything else. It reminds me of all the idle pleasure. Before I left, I thought,
Yeah, I'm kind of
the
skipping
brand
through
you could
this.
buy them when you return as a reward for a job well done. More the fool I, no? Yes, and now here I am. One simply never knows what is to come next. How could I have suspected I would end up defeated by a handsome Grey Warden?
Yeah, so he's
a
hitting
man
on
who
me.
then spares my life. I could not. Quite right you are. I see the... Now, if it is all the same to you... What say you? Oh, this should be good. What would you like?
I want you to leave. No. You okay? So you could become an assassin.
And touched Andraste's ashes. They are the holiest thing on this earth. The remains of the Maker's chosen. I do not know if I am worthy to look upon her. Yes, of course, but it still is something to be in awe of. Something I can help with? Yes? What's on your mind? My mother was from Denerim, and I consider myself a Ferelden. Mother served an Orlesian noblewoman who lived here when Orlais ruled. When Orlais was defeated, and the common folk began to resent the presence of any Orlesian, the lady returned to Orlais. She took my mother with her. I was born in Orlais, and did not set foot in Ferelden till much later. Mother was always telling me stories of her homeland. I think she missed it. Mother died when I was very young. Lady Cecily let me stay with her. I had no one else. She was quite old then, and she had me study music and dance to entertain her. It is unfair that I have more memories of Cecily than my mother. Strangely, the only thing I really remember of Mother was her scent. She kept dried flowers in her closet amongst her clothes. Small white Ferelden wildflowers with a sweet fragrance. Mother called them Andrastis Grace. They were very rare in Orlais. But enough about that. Let us move on.
Oh, there's a gift for ya. And I think the other option was a romance option.
Oh, it's been a long day. Rest would be... Yes. As you may have noticed, I'm no spring chicken. Thank you. You're very kind to say so. But in all honesty, I do not know how many years I have left in me. But there is always something else to do. And I have to keep going in order to do it. I don't... Have you encountered many abominations, apart from the ones in the Circle Tower?
Not many. But there was Connor.
Ah, yes, Connor, of course. The first time I saw an abomination, my blood turned to ice. It was the knowledge that I could easily become one of them that frightened me the most. One slip. And there is no turning back, or at least that's what they say. Of late, I have begun to wonder if there is, or if a mage could be so possessed and still retain their sanity, their humanity. Yes, it is madness and cruelty that define abominations. If those are lacking, if the mage... I never saw that. I must ask, what does being a Grey Warden mean to you?
Killing as many Darksmen as possible.
There's that, of course. But there's more to be. Ultimately, being a Grey Warden is about serving others. About serving all people. Whether as a Grey Warden, you are a guardian of... Thus it is you who serves, not they. A good king, a true king, who cares. The king who does not do this, who believes that he is entitled to his power, who abuses it, and uses it for his own means, is a tyrant. If you live apart from others, and your actions affect only you, then you may do as you wish. But if you have power, influence, and strength, your every action will be as a drop of water in a clear... The drop causes ripples, and ripples spread. But I've lectured enough for today.
No, actually, I like that. She rings truth.
What's on your mind? I will answer to the best of my ability. The Circle is in good hands. For now, I will support those that battle the Darkspawn. I do feel I left things unfinished in Ostermark.
Right, you were there.
There is so much left to do, and I would be part of it. Yes, I did leave them. The Grey Wardens, all 2 of you, need all the help you can get. And after that, if I am still left standing, then I will return to the Circle. Perhaps. What's on your mind? Oh, yes, and thank you for asking. I'm feeling much better today. Well, thank you for your kind... What's on your mind? It is no trouble.
Okay, I'm pretty sure you're done for now.
The Circle of Magi stands ready to assist, Grey Warden. There are always areas... The Circle of Magi stands ready to assist, Grey Warden, as do the Temp... There...
Oh. Well, I can do stuff like that before the battle. I'm sure that'll be no problem.
On your order, Grey Warden. The Jarl was generous, but rushed. Certain. We're a mercenary force, Warden. Much of our...
Yeah. And last, but not least, you.
I await your command. At times, perhaps. A world full of people and buildings and things was all very foreign to me. If I wished companionship, I ran with the wolves and flew with the birds. If I spoke, 'twas to the trees.
Did they speak back?
Don't be foolish. I recall the first time I crept beyond the edge of the wilds. I did so in animal form, remaining in the shadows and watching these strange townsfolk from afar. I happened upon a noblewoman by her carriage, adorned in sparkling garments the likes of which I had never before seen. I was dazzled. This, to me, seemed what true wealth and beauty must be. I snuck up behind her and stole a hand mirror from the carriage. 'Twas encrusted in gold and crystalline gemstones, and I hugged it to my chest with delight as I sped back to the wilds.
What happened then?
Flemeth was furious with me. I was a child and had not yet come into my full power, and I had risked discovery for the sake of a pretty bauble. To teach me a lesson, Flemeth took the mirror and smashed it upon the ground. I was heartbroken. And a foolish one. Flemeth was right to break me of my fascination. Beauty and love are fleeting and have no meaning. Survival has meaning. Power has meaning. Without those lessons, I would not be here today, as difficult as they might have been.
Living just to live is a pathetic way to live. But they do make you stronger.
They did indeed. To return to your original question, perhaps my time in the wilds was indeed lonely, but such was how it had to be. I find myself at times wondering what might have become of the girl with the beautiful golden mirror, but such fantasies have no place amidst reality.
Oh, she liked that. Okay.
I await your command. So, full of questions, are you? Why do you ask me such questions? I do not probe you for pointless information, do I?
I'm not sure what this one means. 'Cause that...
Any number of cats could inform you of the answer to that question, but... What is it you asked, if I grew up in the wilds? For many years it was simply Flemeth, and in time I grew curious. I left the wilds to explore what lay beyond, never for long. Brief, for the most part. For all that I had been taught, however, the truth, I was unfamiliar with so much. So confident and bold was I, yet there was much that Flemeth could never have prepared me for. Equal parts daring and foolhardy, perhaps. Only once was I accused of being a witch of the wilds, and that by a chastened who happened to be... He pointed and gasped, and began shouting in his strange language, and most assumed he was casting some curse upon me. I acted the terrified girl, and naturally, he was arrested.
That was quick thinking.
Men are always willing to believe two things about a woman. One, that she is weak, and two, that she finds him attractive. I played the weakling and battered my eyelashes at the captain of the guard. Child's play. The point being that I was able to move through human lands fairly easily. Not that I did not have trouble. There are things about human society which have always puzzled me, such as the touching. Why all the touching for a simple greeting?
Like a handshake?
To begin with, yes. What is the point of touching my hand? I find it an offensive intrusion. There were many nuances that Flemeth could never tell me of. When to look into another's eyes. How to eat at a table. How to bargain without offending. None of these things I knew. I still do not understand it all, truth be told, but then I gave up long ago any hope of doing so. When I returned to the wilds last, I swore to Flemeth that I had no intention of leaving again.
I'm glad it worked out this way, at least.
Yes? Let's ignore the entire Darkspawn threat and the presence of a simpleton as your only other Grey Warden ally, then. Not that I lack appreciation for the intent of your comment. Thank you. Well, let's get on with it before the ground opens up and swallows us, yes?
Was that coming off a different way?
I await your command. So, full of questions, are you? You are very cute to ask so many questions.
And you're cute when you're evasive. Actually, let's go with that one.
Really? Perhaps we should be wrapped in ribbons and adorned with flowers. So cute are we, too. My mother has been hunted from time to time, yes, by Templar fools like Alistair, which should tell you how successful they generally were. Flemeth made a bit of a game of it, in fact. The Templars would come again, and she would look at me and smile and say that the fun was to begin once more.
I feel sorry for the Templars.
They came with as much swagger and arrogance as they did self-righteousness. Pity them if you wish, for they held none for us. Flemeth would warn them, once. 'Twas a warning they inevitably failed to heed. And then the true game began. Often Flemeth would use me as bait. A little girl to scream and run and lure the Templars deeper into the wilds and to their doom. 'Twas a game, and I a young girl. If I didn't get to play, I would have been very upset. Thankfully, the wilds is a vast place. Once they found us, Flemeth would simply move us elsewhere, and we would be lost within the forest once again. I did not understand the danger we faced until I was much older. I had never heard of apostates or maleficarum.
Do you still think it was fun?
I think that my mother made it fun so that a child did not learn to fear. And I think that it was necessary. There are no trials for apostates, no prisons, no mercy. There are only absolutes, so only survival matters. If the wilds have taught me anything, 'tis this. First, you must survive. Do you disagree?
First, you must survive. Well, in this context, if you're dead, nothing else matters, really, from what I can tell, so.
Oh? I would ask what exactly, but I'm certain that would be a lengthy conversation, and suddenly I grow very weary. Enough of this talk. Let us return to the task at hand.
Disapproves. But she's still got a skill from me.
I await your command. So, full of questions, are you? Well, that depends, does it not? What does she seem to be?
An old woman.
Oh, tell me, how much do you know of the tale? The one that the Chastened still tell of my mother, to frighten them into obedience. Ah, I see. That does explain much. I can relay what Flemeth once told me herself, and you can decide whether or not...
That sounds
it is
interesting.
as the tale is sung by the bards, there was a time when Flemeth was young and beautiful. A fair lass in a land of barbarian men, the desire of any who saw her.
Just how long ago is this?
Many centuries, before this land was even named Ferelden. The tales say that Flemeth fell in love with Osen the Bard, and fled the castle of her husband, the dread Lord Conobar, and that he swore vengeance for her infidelity. In truth, my mother claims that 'twas Osen who was her husband, and Conobar the jealous lord, who looked on from afar. Lord Conobar approached young Osen, and offered him wealth and power in exchange for his lovely wife, and Osen agreed.
He sold his wife?
The life of a bard is a poor one, and love fades in the wake of hunger. 'Twas Flemeth who suggested the arrangement. All would have been well had Lord Conobar kept his end of the bargain. But he was a foul man who bargained with coin he did not possess. Osen was led off to a field and slain, left for dead. Flemeth spoke to the spirits and learned of the deed, and swore revenge. That was not the point. Conobar had no honor, so she would not have him. Flemeth begged the spirits to aid her, and 'twas they who slew Conobar. The demon the legend tells of came later. Lord Conobar's allies chased Flemeth, you see. Chased her to the wilds, and there she hid. There she found the demon, and he made her strong. The legends all speak of the great hero Cormac, he who defeated Flemeth and her great army when she invaded the lowlands centuries later. All lies. The truth of the matter is that there was never an invasion. As Flemeth tells it, the Chastened never raised an army under her banner, and she never fought with any warrior named Cormac. Cormac led a brutal civil war against his own people, and later claimed it was to vanquish evil that had taken root amongst the lords. Thus, he was hailed a hero. Flemeth was only attached to the legend much later. Perhaps 'twas due to the great war with the Chastened that eventually came, but Mother claims not to know how it began.
Know that. Know that.
I do not believe everything that Flemeth claims, but on the whole, yes, I believe this tale, if not all. Flemeth tells it with far more Dare I ask of your own mother? Few are abominations of legend, 'tis true, but I find myself curious nevertheless. Ah, then you have my sympathies for what it is worth. Which is very little, I am certain. It matters not. Let us move on.
Okay.
I await your command. We are in camp, so 'tis as good a time as any.
I'm not gonna... Let's save real fast. I don't think that'll send her away, actually. How is she, Ah, she actually likes me more than her, huh?
I await your command.
Just in case it's not sending her away.
We are in camp, so 'tis
Why are you
as
still
good
here?
Because I need your help with my Why? Do you wish me to leave? I can do so if you prefer.
I thought we were friends.
Are we? Then why do you ask such a question?
Yeah, that was kind of stupid. I'm gonna ask the question again. I kind of rushed out. That was stupid. Hey, you.
I await your command. We are in camp, so... Because I need... Why? Do you wish me to leave? Then I assume I'll just...
She didn't like that even more? Well, in that case, I'm not even going to bother talking to you. It's your own fault. She obviously just doesn't want to open up personally to me. Okay, I think that's everyone, right? No. We have you and Alistair.
You are not quite as callow as I thought. That is unexpected.
You thought I was callow?
You sound surprised. You must have heard this before. You'll get over it. Eventually. Speak, then. Then I suggest we move on. I am hardly surprised. To put it, no one has a place here. Our farmers wish to be merchants. The merchants dream of being nobles, and the nobles become warriors. No one is content to be who they are. What does that accomplish? The farmer who buys a shop is never a merchant. He is always a farmer turned merchant. He carries his old life with him as a turtle carries its shell. Meant by whom? And if that were indeed his purpose, why did that mysterious source of meaning not make him so to begin with? Destiny. Destiny is superstitious nonsense. Life is not a journey that ends with you arriving or not arriving at the proper destination. Life is what you do. Life is the duties you fulfill. You can learn to find it in doing your duty, in search. Shall we move on? There is... You have a thing. It doesn't have a word in the Qunari tongue. Little baked things like bread, but sweet and crumbly.
Cookies?
Yes. We have no such things in our lands. This should be remedied. Shall we move on? Perhaps. It's strange to be in a crowd and hear a language that is not... I miss the smells of Saharon. Tea and incense and the sea. Ferelden smells of wet dogs. True. I was trying to... Shall we move on? As you wish.
Whoa! 15 approval from that. He likes it when I, like, side with him subtly.
On your mind? Of course. Sure, I could. I could even teach you, I suppose. I guess if I'm going to give up Chantry secrets, I may as well go all the way. Send whoever... Something on your mind?
I don't know if I can buy specialization points, because if I do... If I can buy specialization points, that would be awesome.
Such as they are. That's a good question. There's plenty in Orlais. If we go north and cross the sea, there's bound here in beyond. So unless
my
we
gosh,
try to
I've
get
got
back to
so
the
much.
compound in Denerim, I imagine that eventually the Grey Wardens outside of Ferelden will... They'll send someone eventually. We could try to contact them. But that would mean leaving Ferelden, and even if we did, they couldn't come back with us in time to stop the Blight. I mean, eventually we would have to use the joining to... But I don't know how to do the joining, or what's involved. I know it involves lyrium and some other magic, and that it's really difficult. Unless we can find out more about the joining, I guess we better get used to the idea that there might only be 2 of us for now. About the Grey... Something on your mind? Of course. Same way you did. You drink some blood, you choke on it, and pass out.
He's just so quick. He did a really good job. Oh, that's sarcasm. I don't want to answer sarcasm. I mean before that.
Let's see. I was in the Chantry before. I trained for many years to become a Templar, in fact. That's where I learned most of... It's really for the best. The Grand Cleric didn't want to let me go. Duncan was forced to conscript me, actually, and would... I don't know. Maybe. I'll always be thankful to Duncan for recruiting me. If it hadn't been for him, you know, I wouldn't have. He was. Come on, let's go.
He only proves one?
Something on your mind? Of course.
Have you never... Oh, really?
You never asked? We are friends. I didn't mean to... It wasn't supposed to... Oh, let me explain. The thing is, I'm used to not telling anyone who didn't already know. And then after the battle, when I should have told you, I don't know, it seemed like it was too late by then. How do you just tell someone that? Yes, well, I suppose part of me kind of liked you not knowing. More dangerous than the regular kind of danger? It's just that anyone who's ever found out has treated me differently afterwards. I know that must sound stupid to you, but I hate that it shaped my entire life. I never wanted it, and I certainly don't want to be king. The very idea of it terrifies me. Thanks. It's nice to have you to support me. I'll point out that you did ask. And now Arleman plans to put me forward as the heir. It never ends, does it? And for what it's worth, I'm sorry for not telling you sooner. It was... I guess it's...
He actually did tell me. He disapproves? Seriously?
Something on your mind?
It's only a little bit, so it probably was like a lot of approval, or some approval and disapproval at the same time.
Have you seen the uniform? It's not only stylish, but well made. I'm a sucker for good tailoring. I keep it hidden under my pillow. Sometimes I'll take it out just so I can hug it fondly and remember the good old days. It brings a tear to the eyes, you know. You don't really want to know about my being a Templar, do you? It's really quite boring. I suppose there's no harm in it then. Sorry if I was being perverse. I'm just not you. The truth of the matter is that I did hate going to the monastery. The initiates from poor families thought I put on airs, while the noble ones called me a bastard and ignored me. I felt like Arleman had cast me off, unwanted, and I was determined to be bitter. But I took some solace in the training itself, I guess. I was actually quite good at it. The education, mostly, but also the discipline. You need to have a disciplined mind in order to... I never really felt at home anywhere, though, until I joined the Grey Wardens. What about you? Do you have anywhere you consider home? We won't always be traveling like this, you know. Once the war is over, though that seems like a far ways off. And I suppose the Grey Wardens are gone for good. Either way, I suppose you're right. We can create new Grey Wardens, but we'll never get back those we lost. Anyhow, now I've sidetracked us. We'd better...
Okay. That sounds good. How long has this recording been? Wait, seriously? Wow, I got so engrossed in it, I didn't realize how long this video has been. Okay, well, I'm going to cut this video off here, so thank you very much for watching, and God bless.